Harrison Street Asset Management, meanwhile, is a premier alternative investment firm focused on real estate, infrastructure, and credit strategies. The firm recently announcing the $910 million sale of a 12-property student housing portfolio to affiliates of the Scion Group and the global institutional investment manager Aras. It included more than 7,000 beds across 10 states and 12 universities, making the transaction the largest student housing portfolio sale so far this year. Joining me right now is the chairman and CEO of Harrison Street Asset Management, Christopher Merrill, or as friends call you, Topher. Topher Merrill. Good to see you.
Great to see you again.
Thank you so much for being here, Topher.
This is great.
I'm so happy to talk about your business because you've made a real niche for yourself in terms of student housing, senior housing. Your firm, one of the largest private owners of student housing globally, and has invested more than $24 billion since its inception. How's business going?
You know, business has been going great. We've been just so fortunate. When we look at the opportunity right now in these demand type assets around education and healthcare, we look at this as some of the best vintage years to be investing now. When you think of just the choking off of supply, there's just no new building. But when you think about the aging population, you look at the need for off-campus student housing. For us, it's a great time to be putting capital to work.
And when you're looking for opportunities in terms of perhaps buying more or transacting with regard to student housing, what's most important in terms of the deciding factor?
You know, we go pretty deep. We've been doing this, as you know, for over 20 years. We've invested at over 250 universities. So for us, it's very important to look at the fundamentals of the university. What's the cost of education? What's happening with the local economy in that school? What's happening with commuter financial aid? What's happening? What's the right unit mix? And then, importantly, let's find a great local operator that can really drive that demand and help us with that overall performance of the asset. So for us, we've built what we think is a proprietary scorecard that really helps us model out what the best place and the best schools are to invest in.
And we know that supply of housing has been really down, and we need a lot more supply. What about the demand side of the story? How does enrollment look?
You know, it's interesting. When you look at enrollment overall, people get concerned, but then if you parse it back and you look at the enrollment at public universities, that is actually up.
Oh, really?
And so our big focus is the public universities. Again, we think a more effective cost of education. We're looking at schools, the Michigans, the Texas, the ASU. These are schools that are very resilient, in good and bad times. We've seen these schools through the GFC, through the pandemic, and these are schools that are seeing enrollment increases, and that's where we're focusing a lot of our efforts.
And you mentioned senior housing.
Yes.
The demand there is growing to record levels, right? We're living longer. We've got more than 15 million baby boomers turning 80 years old this year. So tell us about that.
I mean, 80,000 seniors turning 80 every month.
Every month, wow.
You look at what's happening at 85-plus population. What's challenging is as people live longer, memory and health issues. So our big focus is on continuum of care, independent, assisted, and memory care. And it's just a challenge. We're probably only delivering 30 to 40% of the annual need. So we're going to wake up in 5 or 6 years and realize we have such a shortage in senior housing and good accommodation.
But what about this memory care? Tell me about that.
Yeah, memory care, really the important thing is when you think about people living longer in some level of memory care, very hard to take care of a loved one at home that has memory issues. Safety, and what you need, and we've been doing this now, like I said, for over 20 years, is really good operators, really good facilities to take care of these folks. So what we try and do is create these properties that allow people to age in place with dignity, safety, in a social setting. And so it is such a growing, important need for this country.
Yeah, and we've got a growing elderly population, for sure. I mean, you talk about 80. My mom is going to be 94 in November, but she lives with me. So I was so happy to be able to take in my mom. A lot of people don't have that great fortune to be able to take in a loved one because they're looking for a place that they can trust.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, to me, senior housing doesn't replace the family. It's an extension of the family if you do it right. And that's where we really focus on great local operators. It's an extension of the family. And how can we work with the family? And it's important. And we're also very big in the medical office space. When you think of 80% of all medical procedures are now outside of the hospital setting. So there's just a need for medical infrastructure where we spend a lot of our time as well.
Oh, that is a huge growth story, the medical infrastructure. But also a growth story is the data centers. I mean, all we do is talk about data centers. And you say data centers remain remain supply constrained,
Yeah.
despite this massive demand for the build-out and all of this hundreds of billions of dollars going into data centers. What has your company done in terms of data centers? I know you've committed more than $6.5 billion to data centers.
Yeah, you know, our big focus is on who's the offtake, good solid demand, hyperscale users. For us, the challenge is the demand is absolutely there. The challenge is not the raising of capital. The challenge is access to power. And that's the big theme, is where we're seeing challenges. And as our firm invests in data centers, we're not investing if we don't have line of sight to power, if we don't have a great offtake with a great tenant. But what we're seeing is people taking a lot of risk with hoping they're going to get power. And that's going to take years. And I think that's something that we need to solve. It's that infrastructure. And again, infrastructure for us is very important. We're doing infrastructure around, we're doing renewable energy, district energy. For us, infrastructure in this country, whether it's education infrastructure, healthcare infrastructure, such a big focus. And that's why we're so excited about the next 10, 20 years, because there is just such a need for what we're investing in.
Now, look out those 10 or 20 years. Where does the demand come from for you in terms of opportunities? Is it more student housing? Is it more data centers? Where does the big
you know, it's hard to say. I think, you know, what we love is also demand is global. So, you know, demographics are global. So we've expanded into Canada. We've expanded into Europe. The beauty for our firm is we can take this business globally, as we've done. And again, as people are living longer and the need for education and healthcare, I think the demand's going to come across the spectrum for us.
Especially as the demographics are on your side.
And that's what we've been so lucky, and I pinch myself that we've been in this space for 20 years now.
That is great. Topher, it's great to have you this morning. Thank you.
So great to see you again.
You too. I will be watching your work on this on this segment. Thank you,
Thank you so
Christopher
much.
Merrill. We'll be right back. You're watching Mornings with Maria live on Fox Business. Stay with us.